Alors. Pour moi, c'était pas synchro du tout, mais en tout cas. Moi, je l'ai fait, puis ensuite, je l'ai vu le faire, en tout cas. OK, on le refait une autre fois. Welcome to Sparkling Harmonies. We're your hosts, Lili.
François.
And we're two friends who don't quite listen to the same music or genres.
But we are here to talk about everything and anything music related. Yay!
Yay! So, what have you been listening to these days, François?
I'm on a huge trip of DTA Records. It's the new label by Travis Barker.
Mm-hmm.
He just started, well, I think it's last year, but I'm not sure. But he had some pretty interesting mashup with rap, mumble rap, all the new rap scene,
Right.
internet kids and whatever. And he tried to get into their project or have them mixed with another project. I think he's probably the guy from the 90s, first half of 2000 to stay relevant on the scene right now, because he's trying to reach all those new bands and merge them. And a little bit like, I know I talk a lot about Machine Gun Kelly, but to have it on the line between rap and pop punk and mashup like that. So the last one I got stuck into it is Jaden. I think I'm supposed to say it because it's JXDN. I think it's Jaden. You're supposed to be a big TikTok guy. Sorry, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know. But like the online gamers, they live in big house, like maybe 10 or 20 internet stars, and they do content together and everything. And he start a new music project. And I like that. It's pretty easy listening, but I think it's just cool to have like that pump up vibe. And I don't know. I share it to you. I don't know if you enjoy it or not, but
I'm usually not a big fan of rap myself, but because it was mixed in with the kind of punk rock and parts and everything, I found it to be quite enjoyable, actually. So like this might be my introduction to that scene a little bit more.
Yeah, but for me, it's exactly that. I just follow all the project Travis Barker did. I even made a playlist on Spotify. I can probably share if you want. So I kind of like that. And it's also an introduction to the voice effect. What it's called? When they modify the voice. So everything sound on par. Not the vocoder, but whatever they.
I only have auto-tune in mind.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure that,
I know it's not no auto-tune anymore, but that kind of stuff. I don't really like that normally, but on that kind of stuff, it's mixed up a little bit, like less aggressive, so you don't hear it on each word. So it's not that's far off of a real human voice, but I like it. So for you, what have you been listening to this week?
So for me, the past week, there's been a lot of releases from a lot of artists that I used to follow. So there was a song from We Were Sharks. There was Lights who released a song. There was Rocket Summer that released some songs, some B-sides from his past albums, like acoustic versions, live versions. There was 303 that released a song. So right now we're in mid-November. Okay, so if in case you're wondering, this is not all happening. This is mid-November here. But one song that stuck to me was the new song from Black Veil Brides. It's called Scarlet Cross. So personally, I wasn't into Black Veil Brides back in the day. I kind of got into Andy Black, the main singer of the band, after when he was doing his solo stuff, because I found his voice really, really nice. It's a deeper voice than what you usually hear in that emo rock scene.
Yep.
Where voices are a little bit more higher pitched. So that was really interesting. And I think I got into them. Well, I never really got into them, but when they released the song, I was like, oh, let's give it a listen. And I quite like it. So I think this is going to make me listen a little bit more to their older stuff, since I honestly have no idea how it compares to their older stuff. Because like I said, I haven't really listened to it. But so that was kind of my big discovery of this week. But also on top of that, this week was the episode that we released, our episode with Gabe.
Yep.
And so when I put out the playlist for this week, I looked into some of the bands that he recommended, and I really got into Point North.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
that's
discovery. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's what I've been listening to this week. So the new song from Black Veil Brides, and also I listened to the whole album from Point North, the one that they released last summer.
So, Gabe, if you were listening to us, I had a man crush. He was really sweet. I hope people enjoy as much as us the interview. He was really generous of his time and experience. That was cool.
Yeah. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to our COVID-19 episode with Gabe, where he talks about the insides of booking a band. And he tells us a lot of his experiences as well, fun experiences, kind of traumatic experiences, and just a lot of stories. It was pretty fun.
Yep. So today, for our Know Your Host episode, we will be talking about our first favorite band. Mm-hmm. So you know that the band you get really into, but probably too much into it. So we'll share a bit about that, and some stuff we'll talk about. We'll have a link with our previous episode of our music journey.
Probably, yeah. So you want to start, François? What was your first band?
My first favorite band is not my first band. Mm-hmm. And I will explain why. It's pretty easy, because when I discovered music, Nirvana was my favorite band, but no, Nirvana was my number one band. Okay. Why I said it's not my favorite band is because it was in between everything. I had like Nirvana phase, Silverchair phase, Green Day phase, Oasis phase, and on and on and on and on. But I never had like a moment of overshadow everything. Mm-hmm. Like they were there. I really, really, really like Nirvana. But the first band I really got into was Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And I got way too much into Pink Floyd.
What do you mean way too much?
I think I can say for at least 3 years, this band was like not the only band I was listening to, but like 98% of the time I was listening to Pink Floyd.
That's
and I had a friend, Yannick, who was really into Pink Floyd at the same time than me. So I remember for a whole summer, we were listening to all the shows, the bootlegs. We were downloading alternate version of albums. I remember they were, what's the name? In French, we had Music Plus. It's like Much
so it's
Music.
it was like Much Music, MTV.
And did you remember what's the name of the other part? That softer music side? I think like Musimax or They had like a series, and every now and then they choose a band, and for the whole week or a couple of days they had like all their shows, all their clips, all their discography. And
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and when Pink Floyd celebrate, I don't remember what, I think that was the Pulse tours or anniversary of the Pulse tour. I'm not sure, but they had a whole week of Pink Floyd stuff, and we were like recording and listening to all that all day long, every day.
That's cool.
So
it's kind of like a Shark Week on Discovery Channel. But with Pink
exactly.
Floyd.
Exactly the same thing. They had like a documentary, someone who was, I don't know, speaking about all the tours were, and all, you had an interview with the guy who, I don't know, recorded third albums and stuff like that. And there's like the big band, all the big band like that have like a lore around them. Stuff that not really true, but not really false. And for example, if you don't know,
I
there's
probably
many
don't.
videos you can cross over an album of Pink Floyd with a movie. So, for example, Dark Side of the Moon with the
Hmm.
movie, what's the name? Over the Rainbow.
I'm very bad with
Yeah,
movies.
I know. The little girl, she had some special shoes. When she moved
Oh,
them,
The
she
Wizard of
can.
Oz.
Yeah,
No.
Wizard of
Okay.
Oz,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
I don't know why I forget about it, but you can mix match the two and synchronize them. And the legend said that Pink Floyd record the album and everything's match up. It's not really true,
Hmm.
but there's some similarity when you
That's
listen to both of them.
interesting.
Yeah, there's the same thing with another movie. I don't I don't know. Okay, no. In fact, I know how someone find that. It's drugs. Okay, let's be clear. But I remember because back then there was no YouTube,
No.
so you had to really rely on torrent. That wasn't torrent, but and you had to find like the correct video with the correct audio plugins to
Match up.
enjoy what
Right.
you had, and we did that for at least 3 years straight. We were listening to Pink Floyd. I play guitar, so I bought several stuff like pedals and amp and guitars to match his gear. He had the different eras, different album. I was way too much into it. I remember my girlfriend told me like she was sick of hearing all the Pink Floyd stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure she hates Pink Floyd by now.
Oh, well, I mean, that's like my boyfriend right now is pretty sick of day 6.
It's a change from the main, so
Yeah, true, but I don't I don't think I listen to the main as much as I constantly listen to day 6.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. And now so it's like after 2 years of living together in the same house, now maybe you live day six.
Well, it's also because before I think I wouldn't play it very loudly. So we have our Google Mini for the past year only. I mean, we've lived together for 3 years now, and we've only had a Google Mini for the past year.
Mm,
And then I haven't been home as much as this year. So that also has an impact because I'd never, I wasn't home as much. We had friend events before.
yeah,
Remember that
not
time?
anymore.
Remember that time? So that's why I think that's also why he's been exposed more to day 6 because they also appeared at the same time as when I started to stay home more.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I don't know for you, but I think I can like not predict, but I have a sense of the mood of my wife when she's listening to some stuff. So now I can manage my intervention because
Uh,
I'm working downstairs and she's
mhm.
working on the first floor. So sometime I came in and I heard like I don't know that she really liked depressive music. I'm making fun of her for that, but so when I'm in, oh, maybe not this time, no joke.
Uh, well, for me, I think it's just my boyfriend works in the basement, but he always has his big gamer headphones on.
Mm,
So most of the time, I think he doesn't even hear it. It's just when he comes up and gets something to drink or something, he'll be like, "Again," or it's
again, I
or
know that song way too
it's a
much.
little bit loud. It's a little bit loud. That's what he'll say.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah. Or sometimes no. This is what he's done since the Google Mini is connected to everything that's on the same network.
Yep.
So when he gets really sick of it, he just stops the music from his own phone. And then sometimes I think it's just a glitch. So then I start it again. And then he's like, "Can we have a break, please?"
Okay, I have a confession with that. I don't know for you, but if, for example, I get into the car and there's a song I stop in the middle the last time I took the car,
Mm-hmm.
I will have to start it from the beginning.
Oh, okay. See, we have my boyfriend has this rule in the car is that since he's the one driving, he's the one that's stressed, he always gets to pick the music.
Yeah, that's why you try to have your licenses, your driving licenses.
The only reason is so that I can start putting my music. But so he doesn't do that. I don't know if I will. I don't think so. I think I'll just continue. But
I
we'll
don't know.
see.
I want to hear the whole song. I want to feel it.
We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe I missed the best part. I already know which part is the best for me,
Exactly.
but just in case.
I don't know. Well, I'll update you in a year when I'm comfortable enough for driving and I can listen to stuff, because as an apprentice driver, you're not supposed to be distracted by anything. So they recommend that you don't put any music on or anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what the teacher told us.
That's funny because I'm pretty sure if my dad, who drives since he's like 8 years old, go back to pass the test, he will probably fail like miserably. But on the other hand, I think he got like 3 accidents in his whole life. He's 70 years old right now. So that's funny because it's at the end, everyone's driving and everyone knows mostly the same thing, the same law,
Right.
the same rules. So that's weird. Like you're not supposed to listen to music because you're an
No,
apprentice.
yeah, well, I think it's just so that you remove any distractions, because already you're not used to it. So I think it's just really so that you can focus 100% on learning how to drive.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna get well, and you will be like the cool mom with the music and
My kids are gonna be like, "Mom, not the K-pop again."
yeah, no one.
Uh,
Yeah, you can be the mom like in the Monster Inc. universities. I
I
don't know if
didn't
you saw
watch that. I watched only Monsters Inc. I didn't watch
the first
Monsters
one.
University. Yeah, I
In the second
should.
one, they are younger and they went back to universities and university time. And one of the guy asked his mom to bring them. I don't remember where, but she said, "Okay, I will wait here and listen to my music." And when she closed the door, it's Mastodon. It's a heavy metal band that's playing like really loud, and the mom is trashing in
Oh
her
my
car
god.
alone. That's funny. So,
Uh,
what about you? What is your first favorite band?
for me, it ties directly into the last episode, our last get to know episodes, basically. So it's my first album that had a big impact. It's the first band that I really listened to. I did think about talking about my Japanese band phase,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Oh,
that
you make me remember we had to share our pictures.
what
I will
picture?
put that on my list.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, that's
our
true.
youngest picture.
That's true. But so that because that phase was pretty big as well. Like I bought a lot of posters, I bought a lot of stuff, I got a lot of stuff imported. But really, I think Simple Plan will have to take this place, just because they were, I think, the first band, not only that I bought albums from, but they were also the first band that I would go to concerts.
Yeah,
Um,
that was
I
big. They
yeah,
had a big
exactly.
impact on you.
Exactly. Like I in the other episode, I talked about my sister driving us with MapQuest instructions to another city. But I also, I used to go. I wasn't the type of fan who would camp out the night before for a Simple Plan concert, which is probably why I never made it first row.
Poor Lily.
But I was there at like 8 a.m.
It-
You know,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure you're a morning person.
No, I'm not. And I was never a morning person. So that was very hard. And also having to drag a friend with me who wasn't very big fan, that was also very hard.
Oh yeah, but they were really popular back then.
Yeah, but
Probably.
I didn't really have any friends who liked them
Oh,
back then. Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. So I remember I dragged my friend Natasha in with me. This was like, I'd like to say 2007, 2008. So like end of high school, beginning of CJEP, I think. And I dragged her with me because she was like, "Oh, they're okay." And I think
Why not?
yeah, but she was there with me at 8 a.m.
She's a good friend.
Yeah, but there were always these 2, 3 gangs who were like camping out there from either earlier or even the night before, and I was never as motivated. which is why the closest I ever got, I think, was second row, which is still pretty good. But yeah, so that's what I used to do. I used to do that. But then that's the reason also that they had a big impact like this for me is that that's the first friends that I made through shows were at Simple Plan. Well, no, so they were at a New City show.
Yeah.
Which we talked about with Melissa and Jenya when we did our Confront
Yeah, a lot.
episode. But so some fans that I met in line at the New City show liked Simple Plan as well. And that's when so I connected with some people through that as well. And then I finally had friends that liked Simple Plan and who went to Simple Plan concerts with me.
You hadn't nagged some other friends who
exactly
for another time come with me at a show.
Yeah. But thinking back, like I guess I really wanted to go see those shows because they're my first show from the New Cities. I went alone.
I'm always impressed by that, but because you told me already you were going to show alone.
Yeah.
I never did that before. I'm 36 years old right now. I never went to a show alone. Never.
And I don't know. I guess it's just because for me, I want to go. Nobody wants to go with me. Well, too bad. I'm going to go anyway.
Yeah, but I admire that. Like you have the willpower to move yourself on a night to enjoy it by yourself.
Not only on a night for the New Cities, I was there like from 2 p.m. waiting in line alone, which is why I made friends.
Yeah, you didn't have choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you watch my spot? I have to go to the bathroom, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Simple Plan was the band that, I had their posters all up over my walls. I was part of their fan club for I'd like to say between 3 to 5 years. I have their SP Crew 5-year-old shirt, but I don't think I was there all 5 years. I think I was there because my parents didn't want to pay, so I didn't have the money. So
how much was it?
I don't remember. But I honestly don't remember. But my parents paid for it a couple of times. And then I think one of the years I was just like, oh, okay. I think I would ask for this for like Christmas or my birthday.
Okay.
Or something like that. And then I think another year I just decided not to. And I didn't want to spend because I think I wanted something else. So I asked my parents for something else and I didn't want to spend my own money for this. So I skipped a couple of years.
Okay.
And I was actually trying to be conceptual and wear that shirt today, but it was in the wash. So it's one of my pajamas shirts now.
That's something I never experienced since all the band I was listening to were Americans. The VIP or like the fan club wasn't easy to get into because, like you said, my parents didn't want to pay, or you had like some money. For example, I know a friend who were in the Silverchair club, and you had to send a check.
Yeah.
In Australia.
Yeah.
And wait because you didn't know if they receive it, or you didn't know if the guy, because I don't know for Simple Plan that was the band that was managing the club.
I honestly don't remember,
because sometimes it's like a fan thing or like another company who managed the thing.
No, this was like the official Simple Plan thing from their website, but I think they had people to manage it for them.
Yeah, because sometimes it's getting way bigger than you thought, so you need help. But I never experienced that. Like, did they send you a gift or like
you would
a magazine?
No, so in retrospect, now with all the new fan clubs and like with the Patreon and everything with all the perks and stuff like that, in retrospect, you didn't get much.
Okay.
You got pre-sale tickets.
Okay.
You got which was big since they back then they would sell out the Bell Center.
Yeah. Okay. So you had like what, 2 weeks in advance to
a
buy
week or something like that. You'd also get first access to buy their VIP tickets, which included usually they had VIP tickets that have you get a sound check, meet and greet,
Okay.
and towards the end, I think they did pizza parties after the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Did you ever went?
I went to the meet and greet before. Like I went to the sound check and meet and greet. And you get a shirt every year. I have a Simple Plan beach ball somewhere.
What?
I remember I moved that. I remember I decided to keep that when we moved, so I have it somewhere. It's deflated, but I have it. Yeah, so you get like random little stuff, but I don't remember doing like, maybe they had some special videos every once in a while. You had like access to stuff that everybody else didn't.
Okay.
But it's funny. I have a story with the meet and greet. That was the first time that I got to meet and take pictures with all of them. This was in 2012.
Not that long ago.
No. And I remember I brought my CD, my No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls CD to get it signed. And I finally had it signed by all 5 of them.
Oh, cool.
Because I was never the person who would wait around after the show to try to get pictures or anything, because usually my parents were waiting to pick me up.
To bring you back home.
Yeah. Whether it was in Ottawa or in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, my parents were like, you're on a time, you don't have time to stay around and wait how many hours sometimes, for them to come out. So I never really got a chance to get pictures or anything like that until that time when I got finally all of them. But also the thing that made me really sad was a week after that concert, a week or two after, our house burned down.
And you lost that CD?
I lost that CD. So I actually went back into the rubble and tried to fish out stuff. And I had 2 copies of that CD. I found the copy that didn't have the sign, the signatures.
Come on. How backlog it is.
Yeah. And it was freaky because the fire started in the basement on the left side of the house. Okay. My room was on the 2nd floor on the right side of the house. So the fire went like whoop. And
let's go burn Lili stuff.
The room that was on the left side of the house was almost intact.
No way.
Yeah. Which is fortunate because that had all our photo albums.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. But
I lost all of my signed merch and all of my like van collectibles from back then.
So now in your new house, you have a coffre-fort? A safe?
No.
Like in the floor of the basement, like all protect, no fire possible,
no
water damage.
I just take pictures of all my stuff. At least I have memories.
So after the pandemic, you gotta go to a Simple Plan show with Jenya because she said she was a fan too, and get a new album signed, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess with time also, I'm just like, it's okay. Do I really need this or not?
I don't know. Ask all the Day 6 stuff you ordered the last few weeks.
Yeah, but I didn't order anything signed. I could have ordered one of the signed albums, but it was going to cost more. So I decided not to.
But that's cool. But like you said, with Patreon, with I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's other platform like that. Like we're getting used to have like stuff like many times a week sometime.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I am on 2 Patreon, and like there's one guy who literally give us at least 3 videos a week. We had like a guitar clinic style and music sheet to learn and stuff like that. So I guess maybe we're spoiled right now.
I think so. It's definitely a different thing from back in the 90s or the early 2000s, when internet wasn't that big of a thing. But is it just are we spoiled, or is this just a natural evolution of how things are?
Yeah, maybe because probably CD sales are not that much, so they
Exactly.
tried other stuff.
Exactly. There's just me left to buy CDs.
No, but maybe we'll talk about that. But like all the K-pop stuff that you show me, they are really creative to get like literally your money. But at least as a no, but as a fan, you have something, you have an
Right.
experience.
Yeah.
Like if you enjoy a band, there's you don't wait like 2 years to get a new album. You have like single, there's videos, there's shows, there. I don't know. I saw that you had not figures, but
Stuffed animals.
yeah,
They're
yeah, no, but
so cute.
yeah, but each time there's something like that, there it's an event by itself. Like
Yeah.
they had a video to promote it, and
Mm-hmm.
probably there's a new song related to it, or like you have a movement with your fans, communication that's interesting. It's
Yeah.
something different, but it's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I think that's how people keep their fans interested. Because with the, before you didn't have access to all these bands, all this music, versus now, you can just click and oh, there's a new one. Oh, there's a new one. Or my YouTube recommendations, my Spotify recommendations. How does a band keep you interested if they just release an album every 2 years and don't do anything else?
Yeah, especially with no touring possible right now, because
Exactly.
I know some band that still make it. Well, okay, not as big as like the biggest band ever, but by touring because they're always on the road. So
Yeah.
they can share like behind the scene videos. They can share like snippet of the shows. Like you said, they had like meet and greet before the show
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And
So
also all the merch.
yeah, especially the merch because I'm pretty sure they really on that to heat and put gas in the van. And
Yeah.
I remember a band from France I saw a couple of years back. Like when the show started, the first thing the singer said is, "Thanks to the other band who lent us all their stuff." Because when we get in, I think that was in the United States, the first part of their tour, and they were caught by the not immigration, but because they didn't have the permit to work in the New United States.
Oh.
So they took all their gear, like
Oh
literally all their
no.
guitars, amps, the drums, and
Oh.
everything. And they said, we we don't have anything left. So they were doing like a sale. Like they had their merch. They had the power of their merch in Montreal. So they said everything is like, I don't know, I think 20% off. Like help us getting back like some stuff, at least a
Yeah.
guitar or two to
Oh
continue the
my
tour.
gosh.
So
But see, that's funny because a lot of American bands, when they come here, I know they don't bring all of their merch,
oh no.
which, so this has happened in the past, especially this was something that my friends and I noticed when we went to Warp Tour the last time, because we did I don't remember where we went. We went somewhere in the States, and then we went to Toronto.
Okay.
But in the States, I saw some stuff that I wanted, and some of those booths, either they weren't there or they had half of the merch they had, because they don't always bring everything over here, because I think they have to declare it
Yeah,
or something like
I think
that.
I think Gabe talked about us for the taxes or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe that's it. So what sucked was I didn't have US cash at the Warp Tour. And so I wanted to buy stuff when they got to Toronto, because that was the second date that we were doing, and I couldn't because they didn't have them.
Nah, not this time.
Yeah, so that was really sad. But I've noticed that sometimes too, that when in one place they'll have it, or the other place they won't. Or the last year when I went to see the Maine, I saw them in Orlando. And once again, I didn't have I don't carry a lot of cash with me, and I didn't, and I think I didn't want to use my credit card because I was gonna get destroyed by the
Yes.
exchange
The
rate.
exchange fees, yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna see them in 2 weeks in Toronto. And by the time they got to Toronto, the sweater I wanted was sold out. Uh,
I don't know. I saw some band that do like merch for not every country or town, but for example, I know Foo Fighters do that a lot. They try to get an artist from the city they're
oh,
going
that's cool.
to design like the tour poster or a T-shirt specifically for this town or this area or state. Probably in the United States, it's possible,
Hmm.
and it's another like fun stuff because you help someone like from your place in the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
But if you're a collector,
You want all of it.
yeah, it's pretty hard. I know the t-shirt resale market is pretty high. Like there's guys like what's his name, Justin Timberlake. He's really into that. I saw a little interview with him. He have like I don't know how many t-shirt of like retro stuff from Metallica in the 80s and
Really?
alternate T-shirt from a tour of another band in Croatia and stuff like that. So maybe it's for them. Like they produce many T-shirts, so you have like the collectors get into your base to like shuffle a bit, like bring
Yeah,
new money in the stall. So
yeah. Well, so for me, like, I always look at the merch and I always want a lot of stuff, but then I have to think I don't wear most of this. Like now I have an occasion to wear this on this show. But before this, I haven't worn my band merch in a long time.
yeah, but maybe you can hide it under your work shirt.
Well, then what's the point?
Yeah.
No. So yeah, I think we went around our subject.
Yeah, and that
We
was like a free discussion around it.
Yeah, we segued a lot out of our main subject, but we hope you found that interesting. You learned a little bit more about us. I mean, it wasn't surprising at all for me, let's be honest. But maybe you learned a little bit more about François then. So this was Sparkling Harmonies. We're your hosts, Lily,
And François?
and we hope you'll listen to us again in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.